This your girl Queen Dee Dee with Dee Dee Said It. I know y'all wondering what in the world am I doing? Why am I back on this story again? Yes, I just literally posted this story. I posted this story 4 days ago. I also got a lot of feedback and a lot of comments on this story. This story has 16 likes and it has 1.6 thousand views with 77 comments. This particular this particular channel has 701 subscribers. Good morning, Trouble. Good morning, Trouble. Is this a good one? Should we keep going? Is that a yes? Trouble said we on the right track. There's only out of 140 something videos that I've made for you. All of them mean something to me, but a few of them kind of hits home a little bit more with me. And this one happened to be one of them. When I initially posted this story, under the same eyelids that everybody else said. And under those eyelids, it was, oh my goodness, I'm telling you, I'm going to put some of the links, some of the video back in there. The first thing I was saying to myself was, this is a disrespectful child. And she's rotten to the core. That's what I initially said on this video. But the more I started looking into this video, the more I started seeing things that was more than a kid being disrespectful. I started seeing something more than a kid just being rebellious. I started seeing something more than a kid just trying to get her way, and you know, she's disrespectful and talking back to her mama any kind of way. I started feeling like that when I first got this story. And then I looked at the heading of the story and it was saying disrespectful kid and, you know, what she did to the cop and all of that type of stuff. And I'm saying to myself, man, this kid right here got some nerves. And not being funny, but you coming from a black home with this, something is not right. Because don't misconstrue us black women as parents. I know there's a lot of people out there, especially our Caucasian side, that feel as though our black children are out of control. But the truth of the matter is, black women, black moms, stand up. It's a lot of things we don't play and tolerate in our homes. And I'm going to show it to you when we go through these comments. This is not of one of our videos where we're about to look at a video. No, we're going to have a video playing, but y'all about to hear the queen talk. That's if you want to. If you don't, I know what you'll do. And I understand that, because this type of video is only for the like-minded person. This type of video is only for the person that feel the pain as well. This type of video is only for those moms out there that can shut me up and say, no, this kid is disrespectful. I got a kid similar. This video is for those that say, no, this kid is suffering. This kid is going through something. This video is for those that say, man, this family need help. We got another broken family. See, because a lot of the times we look at the outside and the structure of things. We can look at the beautiful home they have. We can look at the car. We can look at the fact that she even have her own bedroom. But what we need to also understand is that don't stop problems from arising. That don't stop problems and issues from going on in the home. And as a black woman that used to be a black kid, used to be a black little girl, at one point was a black teenager, and then another point blossoming into a black woman, and then now a black woman with a lot of experience. There's more than just a disrespectful child here. There's more than just a broken mom here. This is a broken family. If we can't agree on anything else, this family is broken because, again, and I'm not gonna change my word. The apple never falls too far from the tree. And I don't want to be so quick. She's disrespectful. Yes, I hear the profanity. I can hear the hurt. I heard all the profanity. And I heard all of the hurt. But I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't just hear hurt from one side. I honestly heard the hurt from multiple sides. I heard the hurt from this baby that we seem to look at as to be so disrespectful. And she just disrespectful and out of control because in our eyes, in some of our eyes, she's just a brat. I mean, but let's be for real here. This is more than bratty behavior. This is more than a kid that's just disrespectful. I mean, there's things that you have to start looking at and evaluating. A disrespectful kid, unruly kid, listen to how strong her mother's voice is. And black women, y'all get off the surface and come underground with me. You all know there's things that we do not tolerate in our home. There's a lot of things that we would not allow in our home. This mother is a strong black woman. And the reason why I can tell you she's a strong black woman because she has a strong black daughter. First of all, she used some strong hellified cuss words. Yeah, I said cuss. Because she was cussing her ass off. And she used some hellified ones. Wonder where it came from. It didn't just come from school. She caught some hellified temper tantrums. She didn't just get that from school. Wonder where it come from. She didn't want to hear anybody. She didn't care. She don't care what the outcome is. She just didn't want to hear nobody talk. Wonder where it came from. Please understand and believe that all behavior is learned. We can ridicule this kid and say she's as disrespectful as they come. And she probably was. She probably was. Listen, I don't even really mean to say probably. This was a disrespectful, outright, unruly, uncontrollable child. But aside from all of that disrespect, out of control, and unruliness, there's some pain there. There's some pain there. There's some counseling that's needed. And there's some healing that's required. The problem with that is it has to come from both ways. And we know as black women, we already know sometimes we are the most hardest people to get along with. Because sometimes we can't even get along with ourselves. We don't listen. We don't hear. And we don't understand. Until we listen, hear, and understand, healing is not going to start. And as me being a black woman, raised up in a black home, I can't really say that I know all too much per se about being raised with a black mom, because as I've mentioned in all my videos, I was raised by a dad, a military one at that. And when he said something one time, it wasn't meant to be repeated again because you heard him. You heard him here, you heard him here, and you also heard him there. But one thing I can tell you that my dad did though, my dad always allowed me to be voiceful. He always allowed me to say what I feel, how I feel, and why I'm thinking that. My daddy made a plan. I don't know how he did it, but now looking back at almost 50 years old, my daddy made sure that there was a conversation in his house. Whether it was over dinner, whether it was at Shoney's for breakfast, he made sure he found out exactly what was going on and what happened with us during the week, because my daddy worked 2 and 3 jobs to make sure that we can eat. He had 3 big children. I'm the shortest of all of them at 6'2". I was raised with my 2 brothers and my dad. My brother's well over 6'5", 6 feet, 6'6". But they showed me a lot of things living in the house with them. And Once a black woman came into my home, which was the woman that my daddy married, to me inside, it felt like all hell broke loose. It did, and I didn't understand what to do about it, because my dad still was my dad, but my dad was a merchant seaman. He started traveling all around the world and being in the water. And a lot of things that I was going through, I really didn't have anybody to talk to, because it's a difference when you're in a home and you have a sister and you can talk to your sister about things that are going on. But it's a difference when you're in a home with women and you know the woman don't like you, or you know that she don't care for you. Imagine that, being a black kid, especially a little girl, and you don't have anybody to talk to. And let's talk about 30 and 40 years ago. There were no resources for stuff like this. So now I'm moving forward and being 17 and a half, almost 18 years old, and finally coming to live with the mom. It was a recipe for disaster. The reason why it was a recipe for disaster is because, number one, I already don't know you. The reason why it was a recipe for disaster is because, number two, you weren't trying to get to know me. Finally, it's a recipe for disaster because now you have not only just a black mom, you have a black daughter, which is the oldest daughter. The separation has already been there. How do we mend that and come back together? What we're looking at with this kid is not just on a kid. And I know there's a lot of people that feel like it's just about a kid. It's not just about this kid. There's a lot of problems and issues that's in this home. And hopefully this particular family can find a way through it. Because if they don't, I hope it don't take one to leave this earth for the other one to understand and start forgiving. But if they don't get it together, they're going to heal the mended relationship the way I had to do. I couldn't mend my relationship with my mom until about 2 months ago. And once I decided to heal that relationship with my mom, she's been dead since 2010. And I had to heal my relationship with her in her death. But I can tell you, once I did that, I do feel free.
About what's going on? Like, I'm not here to hurt you. I'm here to help you.
And right there, just hearing him say that, and there was a lot of comments that said this officer did everything that he could do. And he did. When I tell you, even if you listen to me in the first video, this officer tried. I appreciate him throughout this. And I wish that there was a way for me to reach out to him from this one video and give him a hug, because even though it seems like he wasn't getting through to this young lady, she didn't know how to accept that he was there to help her, and he didn't want to hurt her. She didn't know how to accept that, because why? She's so upset at this point. She's so out of control. And one thing I noticed that this officer did, she's out of control, but he didn't take a side. He didn't take a side because the mom is the one that called. He didn't take a side because he came in this room. And as you can see this video, look at the other video. He gave her a chance. He was still trying to listen to her with her name calling, with her disrespectful tongue, with her out of control rage. He wasn't trying to get involved. All he know is there's a situation going on with a mother, and there's a situation going on with a daughter. And the way he was calm here, I appreciate it so much, until I wish I was on this scene to at least turn to him and say, can I have a hug? I know you're in uniform, but I appreciate you staying unbiased in this.
I mean, you didn't call me. You didn't call. And you want me to leave? I think you're here now.
Hello.
Hey, this is Rachel.
Oh, get the out. I don't.
Right there. The only thing we hear, she's disrespectful. I mean, you got Rachel coming in the room, and Rachel's trying to speak with her. The only thing I didn't appreciate about Rachel, even though It's not Rachel's fault. I didn't appreciate the cattiness from her to an extent. I really didn't appreciate her. And I know in some people, hey, I want y'all to beat me up. I'm here for it. I'm a great punching bag for a lot of you. Sometimes I'm a punching bag for myself. But I can get over it because I'm used to them bruises. I've gotten past them. So now they're not bruises anymore. I just feel like Rachel as a woman, I felt like she could have stepped on the scene with a little bit more understanding and compassion and not go to giggling and laughing. You know, I always tell y'all in my videos, when you come to a gunfight, you got to be dressed right. That includes a conversation. That includes your behavior. If you notice, I'm not here to play today. Because it's not just a touchy situation in my house. It's a touchy situation in a lot of homes, and I realized just how touchy it was when I read the comments. And anybody that seen me comment, I commented in depth with you. In depth. I heard it.
Oh, in here, I don't want y'all bothering me.
Rachel, we not.
See, all of this right here, I would have preferred her exit the building because I'm going to be honest with you, all it was doing was fueling the fire. A lot of people aren't going to go with me on this one, but hey, stay where you at and I'm going to stay where I'm at. But hey, leave me a comment because I love them. Because these comments, they come in so good. We are all on different pages, but at the end of the day, we still lead down the same road. There's a problem with a black mom and a black daughter here. Whether you like my comment or not, there's a problem with a black mom and a black daughter. And I want to be very clear. This is not just in a black home. These are not issues that are just in black communities. You better believe it. I'm such a chatterbox with everybody until I've spoken to many black women. Just matter of fact, I was in Aldi's maybe about 3 weeks ago. And I ran into an older lady in there. She had to be like 80 something. She said she was 83 years old. And she was just admiring me, my daughter, and my little brownie cakes. And she asked me, she said, how do you do it? She said, white lady, Caucasian lady. She said, how do you do it? She said, how do you get along with your daughter like that? I say, because it takes understanding, love, and communication. And sometimes even as a mother, you have to take a back seat just to hear where they're at in life. Because with this new millennium and this new generation, they open up to you differently. Hey, it's the reality to it. But one thing I could tell you, I don't deal with bail bondsmen. I have not had to meet a woman or a male in the labor and delivery room. And I haven't had to lean over and drop tears at a casket for either one of my children. 2 of them and a god baby, to be exact. The way I decided to bring my kids up was in a home with a husband, a wife, my children, and also grandparents, and grandparents that were of age to be grandparents. When I look at this young lady right now, she didn't come from a weak family. At some point in the equation, the family got broken. And it seems like that brokenness started with a mom and an ex-husband. And it seemed like this kid right here, she sat in the middle of it through a lot of days. What I'm going to do with this part right here, I want to go through some of the comments. The reason why I decided to take this as a comment, a question and answer, and I really was going to do it live, but I decided, you know what? This is the time for me to address these issues. There's no sense in waiting. There are a lot of hurt, broken people in the world. It doesn't matter the color. The reason why I'm honing in on the black homes is because we're in a black house right now. Miss Donna. Hey there, Miss Donna. Miss Donna, this video, Miss Donna on EO9940 said, Miss Dee Dee, this video grieved and vexed me. It grieved me because she's going through something. It vexed me because of the police that showed up and the manhandled her to her arrest. To arrest her. I don't understand why she was handcuffed and almost tased. She needed mental health counselor instead of police. They should have called 988 the crisis line for her. Why don't we have black female police officers? Thank you, Ms. Donna, for that comment, and I do understand everything that you are saying. This video also grieved and vexed me as well. It was so disheartening to me until, y'all see, I was broken inside. I was broken inside because of my own issues that I used to go through. The way I felt. I mean, I've only lived with my mom, honestly, for like 3 months. But in a sense inside, it's like I caught hell in so many different ways. So this grieved me more than anyone probably would know. As far as the police showing up and feeling as though they mishandled her to arrest her, I can agree with you to an extent, Ms. Donna. The reason why I can agree with you to an extent, because I also said it in my videos. I said it to the equation of the first officer that was there. I give him so much kudos. I give him just all my heart, loving, and thank you for the way you handled this. You did everything in your power to not manhandle this child. You did everything in your power, honestly, just to clear the scene, get her out the home. You did everything in your power, Mr. Officer, not to have to arrest her. But her behavior, her anger, all of that played a part in her having to be manhandled and arrested. I do feel the next officer that came in, the one that was at the end of the video, I do feel as though he could have did a lot better than what he did, because to me, he had absolutely no understanding. And from what we could see on the video, I don't see where he was even there that long. To me, he came in like a cop that, oh, I'm tired of this, I'm not going through this. But sir, you didn't go through anything. You just arrived on the scene. That's the misunderstanding I felt that particular cop gave. The first cop, I felt like that first cop was phenomenal. Matter of fact, he honestly went way further than what he actually should have went. So we don't have a choice but to thank him for that. But again, with the other officer, even this lady, right, even the lady that came in, not him, but the lady that came in, I honestly I didn't appreciate her being there either, especially as her being a woman. I understand, and there's going to be so many say, yeah, but she came in and she tried to do her job. No, she wasn't there. She was not there enough to do a job. She came there with her giggles on and laughing like something all cute and funny. It wasn't cute nor funny. Not that I'm over here crying like a damn hyena. I wanted her to shut her damn mouth and at least shed a tear with me too. Okay. Thank you, Ms. Donna, for your comment. I also want to address the part where you said we don't have black female officers. That is true. We really don't see enough black female police officers for whatever reason it is. Seem like black females aren't into being police officers. There are some out there. I don't know why I barely and very seldom see female police officers also. But I feel like also in this instance, when they start seeing that this young lady may be suffering at some point or another, because in the beginning with her being so out of control and using profanity and disrespecting everybody on the scene, it didn't seem like she needed anyone mental. It seemed like she started needing mental in the end. So I think because she wasn't showing any signs of being mental, I think that's what played the role. But in another breath, I'm wondering if you're saying if there was a black female officer on board or present, would she have opened up a little bit more? Maybe you're right. If there was a black female officer on site, maybe she would have opened up a little bit more. Not sure about that. Maybe we should try to figure out, why are there no black police officers? And if there are any black female police officers that's watching this video, I would like for you to chime in. I'm going to leave the link to this particular story, the initial story. I'm going to leave that in the description, and I'm going to put it also in the comments. But if you are a black female officer, chime in and tell us, have you ever been on a scene and you seen behavior like this, and what normally happens? How do you normally speak to people when you come on a scene and you see this type of behavior? Chime in, any black female police officer that may be listening in or may have seen this video. Or if you know a police officer, black female that is, reach back out and let us know what their comment was. Thank you, Ms. Donna, again. I have Lori Dory at Lori Dory. She says, sorry, She said, sorry, but this child is disrespectful. Being born to a narcissistic mother, I still never had this kind of boldness to curse and act a fool like this, which is making me believe she's not abused, but spoiled. Abused children don't act this bold and will show signs of fear. I was called out of my name and abused for real. I was silenced and too afraid to ever do this. This child is a brat. She's even disrespectful to the cops who are kind to her. My heart goes out to her, but these kids are disrespectful, and the Bible makes it clear that children will be disobedient to their parents in the last days. Like the prodigal son, she will learn the hard way. Sorry, but this child is disrespectful. Being born to a narcissistic mother. Can we stop right there? Sorry, but this child is disrespectful. Being born to a narcissistic mother. Do you understand what the word narcissistic mean? You used it, not me, Lori Dory. Do you know how hard it is in a home to deal with a narcissist? First of all, what we need to understand is what type of narcissist it is. Because you know, there's not a soul on this earth that's not a narcissist. You have to understand what a narcissist is. And at times we all use narcissistic behavior some point or another, whether it is to get control of a situation with our mates, whether it is to get control of situations with our children, whether it is to try to convince someone to do something, say something, or be someone that, you know, because that's what we want. Understand what the definition of a narcissist is. Google it. So imagine being in a home with a smart, strong narcissist. Do we understand this narcissistic mom was also an attorney? Should I say any more? Her being disrespectful without a doubt is the truth. She was totally disrespectful and out of line and uncontrollable in a lot of instances in this video. But having a narcissistic mom doesn't make it better. And then having an angry black mom is even worse. And then having an angry black mom that's even worse and that can also be violent. This mom is not innocent, just like this daughter isn't innocent. But I'm going to say it to the beginning. I'm never taking it back. The apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. This behavior was learned somewhere. I don't believe that this kid was that much of a brat. I believe at this point this kid was broken. But she's not the only one broken. Her mother is broken too. And I'm sure if I ever had a chance to interview either one of them, we'll see there's some broken dynamics in this family. This kid was totally disrespectful. And I want you not to misunderstand and misconstrue my words. There's nothing about her behavior that would not be addressed and taken care of accordingly. But I'm trying to get you to understand that it's not just her by herself. And if it was that bad with this kid, where is the dad? All these dads out there that claim, oh, women aren't submissive. I mean, goddamn, can you tell me what you're doing to make your children submissive? Why your daughter not being treated and learned and taught to be submissive to a man? Because if that's the case, she would have fear in her heart and she wouldn't be this disrespectful because her dad played the right role. You seen the granddaddy there on the scene and he seemed like, you know, he just was broken. And I do hope that you found a way to heal, because I see you're saying that you were outright abused. And I hope, and I'm sure, Lori Dory, if I ever had a chance to speak to you, I would also hear from you. First of all, we need to understand what your age is. This young lady right here, if I'm not mistaken, she was only like 15 years old. When we went through a lot of the abuse and the turmoil back in our days, we didn't have the same type of resources, nor did we have the same type of voice, nor did we have the same type of fight. So things that hurt us and upset us and beat us to a pulp back then, even through abuse, we didn't have an outlet. Our outlet always led right back to our abusers. And you said it, you were silenced and too afraid to ever do this. See, the day and ages these days, Kids got help from schools. Kids got help from social media. Kids got help from different outlets, guidance counselors, even friends that don't mind snitching and telling. Because the kids these days ain't no such thing as don't repeat nothing out of my house. Especially if up in your house is not living right and according to the actual laws that lead to certain things. So I do understand exactly what you're saying, Lori Dory. I do agree to an extent that she may have been spoiled, but another part of it, this is just a broken home. Thank you so much. I appreciate your comment. I look forward to you also, Lori, maybe being on one of my Q&A lives. I'm getting ready to start my lives in about 2 weeks, and I would definitely love to have you on. We have to teach our kids emotional intelligence. We have to teach our kids. At 15 years old, who do you think taught her? Thank you for also reiterating my point to me, Lori. We have to teach our kids emotional intelligence. Who would have been the one to teach this kid emotional intelligence? Would it possibly have been her mom and dad? And then grandparents join in because you're grandparents? And it does take a village to raise a child. Emotional intelligence has to be learned and taught by someone. So if this young lady need to be taught emotional intelligence, Lori Dory, who do you think would teach her that? Thank you for your comment, Lori. Hey, Miss Denise Eugene, 1852. As a former CPS and licensed social worker in New York for over 30 years, the root of the anger needs to be addressed. No one is going to tolerate her. Watch. Going from a place to place. This is very typical. The child is angry at their mom, grandma, and is aggressive. I totally agree with you, Miss Denise. I appreciate you chiming in, especially as coming from the area of CPS and licensed social worker. And I know one of the heaviest places to even be in a system is New York. And to be doing it for over 30 years, we definitely needed you to join the family and also chime in here. I'm definitely looking forward to you, Miss Denise, as coming in on the live, because we're not going to stop with this conversation. The reason why we're not going to stop with this conversation is because this is a big issue in homes, especially in our black homes. Because we all know there's so much discipline that comes from a black mom and a black dad. So when we see kids acting out like this, the first thing that we run to is disrespectful brat. Because there's no way. And then we look at the homes that they're in, and we might even look at the cars they're driving, and we might even look at the schools they go to. But that does not stop when there's a problem within. That's only a cover-up. There's problems here, and just like the daughter said it throughout the video, my mom can't even keep a man. Not only can she not keep a man, she can't even keep a job. The problem didn't start with this kid. There's something else going on in this family. Thank you so much, Miss Donna. Thank you so much, Miss Denise Eugene. I definitely appreciate you, and I will be looking forward to you chiming in. At Ablison 77. That's ABLSSYN 77. That might say a blessed YN 77. Okay, I got you, Miss Abless. She will be okay, but she doesn't need to go back to that house. Something sinister there is triggering her. Thank you, Abless YN 77. I need to say no more. You're definitely needed on this channel, and welcome to the family if you are a part of it. I appreciate that comment. It was so simple, precise, and to the point. She don't need to go back to that home. Not right now. There needs to be some conversation, communication, and then some healing inside of each one separately first. It's never going to work. If they go and try to go to counseling or heal while both of them are in the room, they're both yellers. They're both cursors. They're both very loud. They're both very dominant. The problem with it is, as a daughter, You don't have a right to have that kind of control over your mother. The problem with a mother, you need to learn self-control in order for your daughter not to be so out of control. Let's be very clear. And I said it again and again and again. The apple don't fall too far from the tree. Thank you, Miss Bless YN77. I look forward to seeing you and hearing from you again as well. I can't get past this one. It's just me, Shay, 86. She was very vocal and I definitely appreciate it. I watched the same video on another channel. Bottom line, whether going on in that house, bottom line, whatever going on in that house is that woman's business. She asked her to leave and she was being disrespectful. How many times have you been called out of your name by someone you pushed out of your body, clothed them, fed them, housed them, celebrated them on many occasions, stood up for them even when they were dead ass wrong because they're your child? Bottom line, she asked her to leave. The officers asked her to leave and she wouldn't. She kept going back several times, continuously with a tantrum. I guess that's get the F out of here. I don't use that, the F word, I don't say that, but get out of here. Get the mess out of here. Y'all must have never dealt with someone with mental illness. This kids, no matter what you do for them, is never enough. Rich or poor, black or white, the asses is entitled, period. Thank you, It's Just Me, Shay 86. I'm going to tell you just like this. I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you when it comes to disrespectful children. I totally agree with you when it comes to unruly children. I totally agree with you when I see those bratty ass kids that go to catching tantrums because they mama tell them they can't get any bubble gum. I totally agree with you that they kept asking this young lady to leave. She did, kept coming back. And it looks like she kept trying to come back to gather all her things so that she don't have to come back anymore. But I'm kind of perturbed at one thing that you said, because if you truly mean this, then we're contradicting each other or contradicting our words. Y'all must have never dealt with someone with mental illness. So are you saying that you think she possibly had mental illness? Because I'm kind of confused if you're saying that she possibly had mental illness. Because in the beginning, I didn't see mental illness. I seen exactly what you seen, which was a disrespectful, unruly, out of control, tantrum brat with no self-control, which is the typical 14, 15, 16, 17-year-old. This went a stretch more. But if she's dealing with mental illness, how would you have controlled the situation even if you were the child? So dealing with mental illness can be uncontrollable. Dealing with mental illness is something that's out of your realm. Dealing with mental illness needs to be treated differently. This is when we're dealing with mental illness. So if we're dealing with mental illness, and mental illness means you may tell someone to do something over and over and they can't do it because they have mental illness issues or they have mental problems. When you say she kept coming back and she kept this, which one is it? Do you feel, because a person with mental illness, are they disrespectful? They have a mental illness. A person with mental illness, do they catch tantrums? They do, because they have a mental illness. So if we're saying that you believe this baby had mental illness problems, then how can we honestly say she was just disrespectful, she's out of control, and she's this and she's that and she's the other? Yes, and we did push her out. So we need to define, are we really saying she had mental illness? Or are we saying she was disrespectful and she caught tantrums because she's a brat and she just wouldn't leave? I mean, because a person with mental illness, when do you put them out on the streets? How do you handle a child or an adult with mental illness? Would it have been handled in this manner is my question to you. I definitely appreciate you addressing this side of it, because it showed me that we have a little bit of confusion here too. Because if she out of control and she's disrespectful, then we can't equate that also with mental illness, or can we? Can we say that maybe something was happening and she may have started off as though she was being bratty, she's out of control, but in the end, we start realizing there is something seriously wrong here. Even if you want to blame her and say something is wrong with her, she got a mental illness. So did she have an excuse for her behavior? I can tell you this too. If mom seen that she had a mental illness issue as a mom and it's her job, she should have gotten her the adequate help. Thank you so much. It's just me, Shay86. I look forward to you to be on our live as well. I would like for you to just comment on how you feel about it. Your opinion also matters and is very important, because there are mothers out there that are dealing with daughters like this. Not just daughters, son too, but I'm elaborating on daughters because this is a situation about daughters. And for the most part, especially in the black home, and they're in the white homes as well, it's always, a lot of the times, it's the mother and the daughter that go to feud and they can't get along and hitting heads and bumping heads, and one of them have to go at some point or another. Unless they learn and understand the boundaries between each other and what roles are played, because it is my house, dear, and not yours. If she did have any sort of mental illness, which you're saying in your comment is here, then what role should the mom have played to make sure that something like this doesn't happen? Possibly getting her help. It should have been documented, so when the officer came, he would have already seen what type of signal she was, because it's already documented. Thank you so much. Angie Bobby. ANJIEBABI. From experience, we don't know how the mother acts with her daughter versus the public. Something is off. That child is hurt. Something is off. Thank you, Angie Bobby, for your comment. I definitely appreciate you. Something is definitely off. It's more than just a disrespectful brat. I mean, there's telltale signs to know when you're just dealing with a kid out of control. First of all, she was well groomed. That means her mom raised her. Her dad looked like he may have been a part of it. She was in a nice, beautiful home. Also, listen to her verbiage. She was very well spoken. I mean, even as she threw some profane languages out there, girl, I said, girl, you throwing so much stuff out there. I don't know if I used to curse good as you. You need to get on somebody's ship. I mean, she dropped them down, but I wonder where she got it from. Because something is wrong. The apple don't fall too far from the tree. Thank you, Angie Bobby. Denise again. Denise Eugene, 1852. No way should she talk to her mom that way. Good, bad, or indifferent. No one is going to put up with her. No one. I totally agree with you, but I have a question for you, Miss Denise Eugene. Did you see anything in her other than the way she was speaking to her mom? Did you see that anything possibly may be wrong in this family? Did you see anything possibly where this young lady needs a different type of help, not just jail? I would like for you to chime in and give me that answer, or we can discuss that on the live. Can we have 24 hours of Dee Dee? I don't think y'all will be able to handle me for 24 hours, honey, because I go on and on and on, and I do too much. I have a slot channel. I have a 6'2" in heels. Your girl is all over the place, including picking this fro out. Next. This girl takes no accountability. I feel sorry for the mom. These kids these days are disrespectful brats. I would have been the one in handcuffs. Rachel has tendencies of bipolar. Family needs therapy. I can agree with you. TT4436. Thank you so much for this comment. Definitely appreciate you. I can agree with you. The girl, the baby, the daughter, she takes no accountability. The mom takes no accountability. I feel sorry for the mom too. And I also feel sorry for the daughter. These kids these days are disrespectful. They so disrespectful. This is one of these most disrespectful generation I think I've ever encountered. I can remember when I used to go to my son's football game right there in Boca Raton, Florida, one of the richest cities in Florida. I used to be sitting on the stand, me and my husband, and I couldn't believe the kids would sit right next to me. And when I tell you they used to drop some cuss words, I'm like, well, when did that cuss? When did this curse word come out? I've never heard this curse word. I mean, they got a vocabulary big as my afro. These kids are totally disrespectful. But what I want to make sure that we do, we distinguish the disrespect, the hurt, mental illness, and something is wrong, kids. Everybody can't get put in the same category. They can't. And if she have any kind of tendencies of bipolar, that's an issue. Thank you so much for your comment, TT4436. Definitely appreciated that. The family does. The familia need therapy. Book with Mick. I understand she wanted to go, but y'all not gonna mention how when she was finally putting her things in the car, mom lost her mind. Rewind and listen to what her mom said. And yes, she do need to take accountability as a mother, since y'all so worried about curse words. Papa know what the F going on for real. She talking about grandpa, papa. Exactly. Thank you so much, Book with Mick. Something, I said it through the video. The way when the police was upstairs talking to the daughter, the mom was downstairs yelling to the top of her lungs with papa. The reason why I'm not playing the video like that is because you need to go back and watch it. If you haven't watched it, you're not going to watch it here. You're going to watch these comments. And then you need to go back and watch the video and you link these two together. The mom have lost her mind. There's something going on with this mom. And I guarantee you it's not just one kid, because it seems like I seen a son in there. And it also seems like I seen another little daughter that seemed like she was so shy. This is some repeated behavior. I don't know. I'm only going off what I see. And sometimes, like they say, believe none of what you hear and half of what you see. And that's why I'm believing half of it. Thank you so much, Book with me. With Mick. Definitely appreciate you. I agree, Colony Bud. That's a broken family unit. Of course, the police need to be respectful, but no respect given. Michelle Barker, 8940. We said that all through the video, ma'am. All through the video, we made it clear that the officer, especially the first one, he was so respectful until I'm surprised it went on that long, including her kicking him. The officer was very respectful, and there was absolutely no respect given. We definitely addressed that, and nobody would defute you on that. I definitely wouldn't. I wouldn't go against you on that comment, because that officer treated her with such respect until I almost thought, was he some kin to them? But then I had TT4436 come back again. Right here, she said, this girl takes no accountability. I feel sorry for them. These kids these days are disrespectful brats. I would have been in handcuffs. Rachel has tendencies of bipolar. Family need therapy. And then she comes back. It's the mom's fault. She can't read her mind. Lady, you are crazy. Maybe you should go get her and let her stay with you. Thank you for being very mature, TT4436. I definitely appreciate that comment. That's what we do when we're open-minded and we're mature and we grown. We come back and we make comments like that. I mean, what's with the name calling? It's not called for and it's not necessary. Again, these are why there are so many broken homes, especially with broken moms, especially black ones like that. That just lets you know, in some homes, instead of us learning how to be rational and talk maturely, we go to it the name calling. Same thing this little girl probably do with her mom. Name calling and you wrong and you did nothing. I mean, accountability has to come from both sides. And on top of that, this young lady is being raised by a parent. A parent's responsibility and obligation is to raise their kids up the right way, even by law. So no, I'm not crazy. And I apologize that you feel that way about me. But there's nothing about me crazy. I have a lot of life history and also experiences, but crazy is not one of them. And I do appreciate you coming on my platform and leaving your comment there. But next time, be a little bit more respectful, because this is a serious conversation. No need for name callings. It reminds me, is this what the little girl going on in her house? Because you're showing a perfect example of ignorance. Have a good day, TT4436. Miss Dee Dee, this is from the real Roxanne. Miss Dee Dee, the mom might be going through some things as well. They both need help. The child is grown. She's actually not grown yet. Don't blame the mom either. The apple in 2024 falls very far from the tree. They not bred like we was. The real Roxanne, totally agree with you. The mom might be going through something as well. They both need help. I would never just blame the mom. The reason why I reiterated on the mom and stressed the mom so much is because she is the mom. And not only is she the mom, she's a smart mom. Not only is she a smart mom, she's an attorney. Not only is she an attorney, through the video, I heard her voice and yelling and being belligerent and also being out of control. So it just showed me the apple don't fall too far from the tree. This young lady learned this behavior from somewhere. It's not just about her being disrespectful and bratty. Something else is going on in that home, and the mom plays a very good role in it. And if you go back to the video, you will also hear the young lady say, "You got upset with me when I told you something about my dad." So I'm wondering, is some of this factoring in because maybe this daughter like to be around dad? Maybe this daughter still take up for dad. Maybe mentioning dad and your relationship with dad is a trigger to mom. I don't know. All I could tell you is this. This isn't the first home with a daughter and a mom that can't mend fences and don't know how to communicate and understand each other. I'm looking for both of them to take accountability. I definitely understand exactly what you're saying, the real Roxanne. I wouldn't just blame the mom, but looking at the video, I also need the mom to take accountability. I want to go to a comment that I have over here. This comment is from I Am Mia Diaries. This is from I Am Mia Diaries. Let me see if I have her here. I wanted to take and go to this particular comment because I really appreciate her. And I honestly appreciated her honesty. This particular comment comes from I Am Mia Diaries. The reason why I wanted to come back to I Am Mia Diaries is because I don't know, it was something about her and her comment, along with a lot of the other comments. And don't get me wrong. I'm coming back to all those comments. I'm going to address a lot more comments on my live that is coming up. in a couple of weeks. The reason why I wanted to address this with her is because for some reason she resonated with me and I resonated with her. And I don't know, it was just something by her comment that let me know she found a space in her heart where she's seen beyond this young lady and her disrespect, her ill-manneredness, and her being out of control. She said, I cried watching this, not gonna lie. And I felt the same way that she felt. And her and I literally went back and forth. And I said to her, thank you. It wasn't just me I see. People only see her behavior, but it's deeper on so many other levels. She said, honestly, I felt like you only can see what's really going on if you have been in this position before. That's okay if you haven't, but don't down the next, because you never know how it is until you have walked a mile in their shoes. And what she's trying to say right there, she's basically trying to say is she's looking at this little girl, and she probably is even looking at the mom, and she can tell there's some hurt there and there are some things going on. Why? Because people like her and I, people like Miss Donna, people like Miss Denise, who was with CPS in her comments, been there 30 years for New York. You either been through a lot of things or you've seen a lot of things. And sometimes you got to look further than what the eye can see. Again, this young lady, she was totally out of control. No one is taking that away that she was out of control and disrespectful. I'm only saying, where did it come from? You think she just totally out of control and disrespectful? Even what they were going at it for, she says she asked her mother something about Bahamas. She asked her mom something about doing something with her dad. The mom flipped on her because of that. She only human too. And at some point, anybody get fed up. You kick a dog in the ass long enough, he'll eventually bite. You better believe it. That even comes from your kid. I messaged her back and I said, thank you. I just made amends with my mom. She passed away in 2010. My dad raised me and I never had a relationship with her. I always felt she didn't like me. But this summer, I realized she couldn't help it. She had issues with her mom too. Back in my mom's days, born in 1952, again, they didn't have the same resources. They didn't have the same outlets. They didn't have the same levels of communication the way the kids have these days. You're right. I never used profanity, TT 4436. I never used profanity speaking to my mom. Definitely didn't use profanity speaking to my dad. But I'm going to tell you what I did do. I never used profanity speaking to my mom. I just never spoke to her again. So I guess one would say, well, at least you never spoke with her. You never disrespected her. But then another one would say, damn, look how much time was lost. Look how much love was gone. Look how much relationship wasn't there. Look what kind of mending never took place because you never spoke to her again. I don't know if whatever happened with this young lady and her mom, if it opened up the doors for them to even start healing, having a conversation that now the world have seen, y'all got a problem. Maybe that act of disrespect from that daughter, maybe that act of this daughter having to go to jail and sit in somewhere where it seems like she has something mental going on, maybe that was needed in order for them to find a way to heal within each other. I don't know, but I did say that this is deeper than a disrespectful bratty kid. She responded and said, I'm sorry for your loss. And I had to realize the same thing. And like you said, it's so deeper than what we think. I wish there were more voices like mine as well. And there are a lot of voices like yours I am Mia Diaries. Welcome to the family, and our voices will be heard, because this is a conversation, this is a topic that I'm committed to, because I know how it felt. It took a lot for me to heal from a broken relationship with my mom. It took me all of these years, and about a month ago or so, maybe a month and a half now, I made amends with my mom, but I had to do it through death. I had to do it from my heart. I had to go to the graveyard. I had to speak to her. I had to let her know. I sat here in my living room, and I had to let her know I apologized to her. I wish I could have did it while she was here. And I made a vow that if I do feel any type of ill will, or I get these feelings again where I'm upset and angry, I'm going to go back to her graveyard and I'm going to talk directly to her. But I can tell you what, once I apologized to my mom, I didn't need her to apologize to me, because now that I'm grown, I understand things more. She didn't have a choice. She couldn't help it. So I'm taking the accountability as her child. And I hope this young lady gets to a place in her life where she starts taking accountability as a kid, because she'll be an adult if she can make it there. And I believe the Lord is going to bless her to get to that space. I just hope he take her heart and he hold on to it. And he going to have to lay her down, and she going to have to understand who she is, what her worth is, and what her goal is for being here. And I hope that she can mend within, because if she bring any kids in this world and she's in the same space that she's in, she's going to be just like her mom, having a disrespectful, unruly child that nobody will be able to get to. Thank you so much. This is Queen Dee Dee with Dee Dee Said It. Like, share, comment, subscribe. If you don't do anything else, I say get to know me. There's a lot of other comments on here, and I promise you, I'm going to get to all of them. I will update you in the community news about when the live will start. I'll give you about 2 or 3 days, and guess what, Queen Kings and Things? Anybody that want to come on, anybody want to talk about topics, anybody want to ask me any questions, I'm going to be here for it. I'll talk to you next time. These things, all of y'all, when I tell y'all that topic right there, it was so heart-wrenching for me. You know, there are a couple of videos where I come through and it's like, it takes my breath away. And I know y'all probably would say, oh my gosh, she is so emotional. One of the comments said to me some videos ago, child, probably when I put my 50th video out there in 2 weeks of starting this channel, one of the comments saying, you so emotional. You're right. I am very emotional. That's what I'm supposed to be. I'm an emotional person. At the end of the day, you can see, yes, I will bring a story to you, honey, and I will make you laugh. I will make you cry. I will pick you back up, and I will rinse you out again. But for right now, I'm tired of picking up. I'm tired of draining. I'm tired of rinsing. I'm tired of all of it. So what I wanted to do, I wanted to bring you something nice and cute from the Queen, and what it would actually consist of. I know all y'all out there like, girl, what you up to now? Because one of the subscribers, and I need to go back to her, she did say, oh my goodness, I would love to see at least 24 hours of the Queen. You know what? That's coming soon. But what for now, what I'm going to bring you is some of this nice sweet potato pie that your girl just made. Yes, I owned a restaurant in Delray Beach, Florida. I owned this restaurant for so many years. But anyway, I made some sweet potato pies. So here's just a quick little snippet of me making my sweet potato pies. And for right now, I think I'm going to go ahead and eat some with you, because what I should have did was made sure I made enough to at least send you one. But since I couldn't, why don't I eat it on the house? No, I'm not being funny. I'm not. These pies used to be so... I used to throw these pies out the windows in my restaurant. I used to have customers, if I didn't have any ready, I sold out of these pies so many times. If they weren't ready, I used to have customers that would literally sit in my restaurant and wait for them to get done. But I'm so glad that it's done now. Yes, I picked a hole in it already. However, it's a graham cracker crust from Keebler. I didn't make the crust, but I did make the batter. But if you try this graham cracker crust from graham, say that 15 times. Graham cracker crust. Graham cracker crust. Graham cracker crust. So I made this sweet potato pie with graham cracker crust from Keebler. And it's very good. Very, very, very good. Again, I made my own batter, but I didn't make the outside of it or the shell. But either way it go, it put a lot with my fingers to have to redo this right here. However, I hope you enjoyed the video. Sorry that I always have to go so deep sometimes, but guess what? Who else gonna do it other than me? When you make a sweet potato pie, leave it in the description for me. I might want to come to you and try some. Don't make me come in your kitchen and cook some pie with you now. Y'all think all I do is read people? Wait to see me cook. Hey there, my boys and girls, queen, kings, and things. I just wanted to bring you just another side of me. I want to show you how, yes, I just created some homemade sweet potato pies. So I'm going to make a couple of these pies, and I'm going to put these pies in the oven, and I'm going to show you how it is once I'm done. Yep, that's what I'm trying to tell you. Your girl is more than just a chatterbox. I love to get down in the kitchen. So I'm going to make these sweet potato pies, and I'm going to bring them back to you. And guess what? We might be able to enjoy at least one of them together. There's your girl, Queen Dee Dee. With Dee Dee Said It. Like, share, comment, subscribe. If you don't do anything else, eat your sweet potato pie before Thanksgiving. Talk to you soon. Okay, my queen, kings, and things, I'm all done. This is the finished products of my sweet potato pies. These are the little small ones. They're made of the graham cracker crust. And I'm going to let them cool off for a little bit. And we're going to eat some small sweet potato pies, homemade, straight from the queen's fingers. Yes. It just goes to show you. Queens do know how to do things the right way, including getting to a man's heart by feeding him through his stomach. Don't think all women are alike, so stop putting all us in the same boat. It don't matter if you're black or white. I know what I'm doing. This is your girl, Queen Dee Dee. Y'all have a good day. Enjoy y'all a slice of pie.